They tell you quitting takes years, that it takes endless willpower, that it's one day at a time, a fight you carry for the rest of your life. But you can quit in a single day, not because you suddenly find more willpower, but because in that one day you finally understand one thing. The want was never really yours to begin with. Somebody put it there. And I know this because I lived it. So let's look at where it came from. Picture Friday evening. The work is done, dinner is on a table, and beside the plate there is a glass of wine. Now take the glass away. Something feels off, doesn't it? The dinner feels incomplete. Not because the food changed, but because somewhere a long time ago you learned that the end of hard week has a taste. And that taste comes in a glass. You didn't really decide that. You probably can't even point to the day you learned it. That's the strange part. The want feels like yours, your evening, your choice, your reward. But if you can't trace where it came from, do you fully own it? So before we talk about stopping, we have to ask a quieter question. Whose want is this really? Go back further, maybe to a kitchen table when you were small. Your mother, your father, pouring a drink at the end of the day. You were not drinking, you were watching. And a child watching quietly files one thing away. They do it, so this must be the thing people do. And that's the first install. Then the screen finishes the job. Think of the action hero. The fight is over, the bad guys are down, the danger has passed, and what does he do? He pours himself whiskey. The reward for winning is a drink. You saw that scene hundreds of times before you even 20. So by the time you poured your own, maybe you weren't really choosing. Maybe you were following a script, handed to you by the table, by the screen, by a whole culture that honestly has very little interest in you reaching your full capacity. Because a person running on borrowed funds is easy to sell to, easy to steer, and that isn't an accident, that's a design. And here's the part that's heavier. Those things, alcohol, tobacco, the other drugs, they don't stop at the person using them. There is a hard word for what they are, and I'm going to use it. They are instruments of genocide. Not loud, not fast, slow. Because they don't only strike the people living now, they reach into the generations that are not even born yet. They damage the genetic potential of the whole human line. A man at 19 pours his first real drink, and if you watch his hand closely, it's the same gesture his father used at the same table. The script doesn't just repeat, it gets passed down, and so does the damage. So, when someone drinks, they are not only spending their own life, they are spending a little of their children's life, and their children's children. I'm not saying this to frighten you. I'm saying the cost is bigger than the hangover. It reaches further than one life. And once you feel that, not just as an idea, but as a weight, the glass on the table starts to look like something else entirely. I want to stop here for a second, because what comes next matters more than this. If you're watching this and something is shifting, hold on to it, subscribe. The next part of this conversation is coming, and you will want to be there for it. Now stay with me, because this is where things start to turn. There is something in this world bigger than us, something our mind can't fully hold. Call it God, call it the Creator, call it the consciousness of the universe, or just call it the universe, or just life. I don't want you to think I'm some religious man. I'm not religious, I'm spiritual, and there is difference. Myself, I call the Creator. And I believe we can see Him and feel Him every single day if we choose to pay attention. Because God speaks to each of us in the language of life circumstances. There is an old saying, chance is the pseudonym of God for when He doesn't want to sign with His own name. And underneath all of it, there is one law or rule. The first commandment of being human. Do no harm, not to yourself, not to the people around you, not to the creation itself. Now, hold that rule next to a habit that breaks all three at once. You start to feel the contradictions in your own body. And that feeling, that's the beginning of the turn. So here's the frame that makes the whole thing click. There are three things we mix up all the time: the meaning of life, the purpose of your life, and your goals. They are not the same thing. And once you see the difference, the whole story starts to open up. Meaning answers the question, why? Purpose answers something different. Who am I inside all of this? And the answer is a big one. Your purpose is to be God's steward here on earth. That's not just a title. It's a working role, a function. And it includes two things. First, unfolding what you were given. The Creator placed enormous potential inside you, in your very genes. There is a room in you to develop, to grow, to become more than most people ever touch. Your purpose is to open that potential all the way, not to live like a biorobot, running someone else's programs until the end of your days. And second, it's about who is in charge inside you. The person who has truly become himself is a will that answers to conscience, not to any instinct, not to the craving, not to whatever impulse happens to be loudest in the moment. Think of this life like a school. You came here to learn exactly that, to develop, to grow, to live more whole than you arrived. That purpose is not handed to you by your job or by your bank account. It came with you. And once this lands, a question that troubles a lot of people simply falls away. How do you keep your appetite for life as you get older? How do you win back the health you let slip? It stops being a separate problem. It was part of the same one all along. Then there is a meaning of life. That's the thing that gives the school its point. And the plainest answer is one word: love. Because love is the one force that doesn't depend on anything outside of you. It carries its meaning inside itself. We are here to learn to love and to build, not just to consume. Now, your goals are different. Goals are the part you choose yourself. And this is where things can go wrong. Walk into a grocery store. On one shelf, there is a bread. On another, the warm coat for your kid. The thing a life actually needs. And 20 feet away, there is the bottle. One shelf holds a real need, the other holds a manufactured one. A want designed, sold, and switched on inside you. The drink is not the purpose of your life. It's not even a real need. It's manufactured goal sitting on top of your real one, blocking the view. And that right there is why willpower never worked. You were fighting the craving, but underneath it, the actual purpose of your life was still buried. You don't beat the want by wrestling it forever. You see past it. So look at what willpower was really for. Not for clamping your jaw shut every Friday for 40 years. It was for understanding, for sitting with all of this long enough to actually see it. And once you see it, something strange happens. The grip starts to loosen on its own, because now you understand that every pore reaches past you, into your family, your friends, the people who depends on you. And you understand one more thing. The day you stop, you become a little harder to steer, harder to sell to, harder to manipulate. You stop running someone else's script. You become the one running your own life. And that's not a small thing. That might be the whole thing. Our planet is changing fast right now, and the events will only speed up. Here is the hard truth. How bloody those coming events turn out to be will depend on one thing: our measure of understanding. The more people who understand, the less blood it costs. Because the change will not come down from the top. It comes up from below, from ordinary people, from you, from me, one at a time, deciding to understand. And whatever comes, humanity and this planet will live. They will flourish, even if right now it looks like the opposite. That part I'm not worried about. What I'm asking is not much, just this. The next time the evening comes and the old pool is there, look at it. Ask yourself one question. Is this mine? Did I choose this? Or was it handed to me before I had the chance to notice? Because you are not a bio-robot. You are a steward. And steward doesn't run on borrowed programs. A steward decides. That is work. Not a grant, not dramatic. The small daily work of staying the one at the wheel. That's where this video ends. But here's the question I'm leaving with you. One word in the comment. Whatever came up when you heard, the want was never yours. One word. That's it. And if you want to go further, subscribe. Not because I'm asking, because a steward decides what they return to.